Rakatha Yahweh, Rakatha Yahweh Shah, Rakatha Yahweh, Rakatha Yahweh Shah, Call Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Raha Kadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect scattered across the four winds. It's your brother Yakar Amen, and double honors to the men that taught our elders and apostles. But I was just doing a little research, and thought I would do a video on it. This is Exodus chapter 12 and verse 1. And Yahweh means he is, or the existing one, is what the world ignorantly calls God or Lord. His name is Yahweh, which means he is, or the existing one. It's not Yahushua, it's not Jehovah, it's Yahweh in the Paleo Hebrew. It says, and Yahweh spoken to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, and a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of souls. Every man according to his eating shall make you count for the lamb. And your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and ye shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month. The whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening, and they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper door posts of the houses where they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs, and they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire his head and his legs, and with the purtenance thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. That which remaineth of it until the morning, ye shall burn with fire. And thus shall ye eat, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. For I will pass through the land of the Egyptian this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, against all the gods of Egypt, and I will execute judgment. I am Yahweh. So this is a commandment that the Lord has told the children of Israel to keep throughout their generations. But yet, in the land of our captivity, there was a falling away because we don't know this. You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which have uh, been converted to Christianity through subtlety, through our enemies. You know, that's a let's get it. Psalms 83. This is Psalms 83 and 2. It says, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. So all these other nations have came up against the children of Israel, and they made an agreement to get us cast off. To cast us off to where the name will be no more in remembrance. That's why they call you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. They call you by bywords. This is one of the curses, that you would be scattered into all lands, and you'll be a byword and a proverb. That's why they call you these things. But all of this had to happen for prophecy's sake to come to pass. This is we'll get that. This is Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come," meaning the coming of our Lord and Savior, "except there come a falling away first," meaning that the Israels had to fall away from their heritage and not know who they were, based on, you know, the Psalms 83, where thine enemies made a tumult, a shout, and they that hate thee lifted up the head. They've came together. Whereas, but it was the Lord's doing, because the Lord said that He would scatter thee, for not keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments. But it says, "Except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." So we're at that time because we fell away, starting primarily at 70 AD, when the Romans sacked the temple. That was the beginning of the falling away. So we lost our heritage. But losing our heritage, you know, at this time, we're waking back up, the great awakening of Ezekiel chapter 37. But this is one of the ordinances that we're supposed to keep. We're supposed to keep the Passover. We're supposed to eat a lamb, you know, every year at the first month of the year. That'd be the month of Abib. But through Christianity, we got this other weirdo stuff going on. We got this weirdo stuff going on. It's like Ash Wednesday. I seen people walking around with this mark of Tammuz on their head, and it says, we're just going to read over it. It says, "Ash Wednesday is a holy day of prayer and fasting in many Western Christian denominations. It is preceded by Shove Tuesday." Shove Tuesday. What is that? Shove Sh- Shrove Tuesday is the final day of Shrovetide, which marks the end of the pre-Lenten season. Lenten begins the following day. Lent begins the following day with Ash Wednesday. Shrove Tuesday is observed in many Christian countries through participating in confession, ritual, burning of the previous holy week. Okay. Uh, yeah, I don't know anything about this other than this weeping for Tammuz, but we're gonna get this. This is Harold W. Armstrong, and it says, "Where did God command you to observe Lent?" And it says, "Where and when did the custom of observing Lent originate?" Here's an article revealing amazing facts hidden for centuries, facts that will surprise you. It says, "Believe it or not, Lent was observed 4,000 years ago. It was still being observed when the Anointed was born, during his ministry, and in the days of the apostles. Yet the Anointed did not institute it, and he never observed it. The apostles never observed it. The church Yahweh built never observed it, and the apostle Paul commanded the Gentile born Israelites to cease observing it. More startling, the anointed commands us today to cease observing it. How then did Lent enter the Christianity of our Western world? Isn't it time we pause to ask ourselves why we observe the customs we do? We may have supposed Lent was taught in the Bible, but have we ever looked into the Bible to see what the Bible really says? So yeah, the so this guy's got it right. Weeping for Tammuz is something that's been going on for a long time. You know, observing the 40 days of fasting for Tammuz. Let's look at see if I can find that. Weeping. Okay, wait a minute. Uh, no, it's not it. 17 Tammuz. Let's see. Let's go. Let's find. Let's try. Okay, let's see if we can. Okay. Okay, this is I don't know. This is an article. It says the following is taken from Myths of Babylon and Assyria by David R. McKenzie, available from Project Gutenberg. Footnotes from the original are included, but students are not responsible for the content of the footnotes. It says, among the gods of Babylon, none achieve wider and more enduring fame than Tammuz, who was loved by Ishtar, the ominous queen of heaven, the beautiful youth who died and was mourned for and came to life again. He does not figure by his popular name in any he does not figure by his popular name in any of the city pantheons, but from the earliest times of which we have known until the passing of the Babylonian civilization, he played a prominent part in the religious life of the people. Tammuz, like Osiris of Egypt, was an agricultural deity, and as a Babylonian harvest was the gift of the rivers, it is probable that one of his several forms was Dumu Zi Abzu, Tammuz of the Abyss. He was also the child, the heroic lord, the sentinel, the healer, and the patriarch who reigned over the early Babylonians for a considerable period. Tammuz of the Abyss was one of the members of the family of Ea, god of the deep, whose other sons, in addition to Merodach, were Nera, an obscure deity, Kilgora, world destroyer, Bernata, Bernatasa, border ear, and Baragura, probably revealers or oracles in addition. Okay, well, let's go. Come on, listen. Okay, it says, I lost my place. In addition, there was a daughter, Ka Dima Azaga, child of the renowned spirit. She may have been identical with Belitashri, who is referred to in the Sumerian hymns as the sister of Tammuz. This family group was probably formed and symbolized the attributes of Era and his spouse Dankia. Tammuz, in his character as a patriarch, may have been regarded as a hostage from the gods in human form of Ea, who instructed mankind, like King Osiris, how to grow corn and cultivate fruit trees as the youth who perished annually. As the youth who perished annually, he was the corn spirit. He is referred to in the Bible by his Babylonian name. When Ezekiel detailed the various idolatrous practices of the Israelites, which included worshiping of the sun and every form of creeping thing and abominable beast, a suggestion of the composite monsters of Babylon we have brought to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was told the north, and behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. Okay, wait a minute. Let's see. It says the Babylonian myth of Tammuz, the dying god, bears a close resemblance to the Greek god Ad- Adonis. Is also linked with the myth of Osiris. According to Professor, Tammuz is identical with Dionysus, Deos, the shepherd, referred to. Uh, they got. Nah, this is too much information. Says Christians around the world celebrate the death and resurrection of Yahushua during a season called Easter. But why do we call it Easter? When Yahushua fulfilled the Jewish feast of Passover, unleavened bread, and first fruits, which the Jews celebrate for 8 days between Nisan 14 and 21. Nisan is, I think that's the name that they use for the first month of the year after the Babylonian captivity. It says Yahweh himself instituted the Lord's Supper during the feast of Passover when he gave his disciples the symbols of unleavened bread and wine is a reminder of his death. So yeah, this right here is so they have changed Passover essentially to weeping for Ishtar and for celebrating Easter. It says, how do we, and incidentally the world around us, celebrate this season? We hold a sunrise service. This is worshiping the sun. Some hold a feast, which includes eating ham. We give our children Easter eggs, either colored or chocolate eggs, and we tell them stories about the Easter bunny who brings the eggs. Firstly, how do we reconcile the dates of Good Friday and Easter Sunday within Yahweh's words? They're breaking it down. A wicked and adulterous generation asks for a miraculous sign, but none will be given except the sign of Jonah. For as Jonah was 3 days and nights in the belly of a huge fish, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and nights in the heart of the earth. So, I mean, this is, I guess, basically debunking the Good Friday to Easter Sunday BS that they have been teaching in the Christian church. It says, but it says, was Yahweh Shai either lying or exaggerating when he said 3 days and 3 nights? If he were crucified on Friday, buried before sunset on Friday afternoon, and resurrected on Sunday before sunrise, even by Jewish reckoning, he could not have been in the grave for 3 days and 3 nights. Yeah, that's what it's saying. Scripture teaches us that there are two Sabbaths between the time when Yahweh entered the tomb and the moment his resurrection took place. This is the key to understand the correct sequence of events that happened. Okay, okay, we trying to get to the weeping for Tammuz part. Right here it says, why is it do we celebrate each Easter? From where did the strange custom come from, having nothing to do with Yahweh Shah or his death and resurrection? In the first 3 centuries CE, the early church celebrated the death of Yahweh Shah as the fulfillment of Passover. Constantine, however, declared Christianity the state of religion and opened the door to pagans by disconnecting Yahweh Shah and his message from its Jewish roots. He Christ- Christianized pagan worship through the celebration of pagan festivals by changing the names of pagan idols to the names of saints and by incorporating pagan symbols into the festivals of the church. Here he goes. Okay, it says from the 14th century, Christians were not the only ones who celebrated Easter. The self-proclaimed moon goddess Semiramis, both mother and wife of Nimrod, Noah's great-grandson, was known to be was known by the name Ishtar or Easter. After the death of her illegitimate son Tammuz, who was killed by a boar while out hunting, Semiramis defied him. She called him the only begotten son of the sun god Baal, and herself the moon goddess. Semiramis was the wife of Cush, Noah's grandson. They had a son Nimrod, meaning rebel, and after his father's death, Nimrod married his mother, Semiramis, and became a powerful ruler, building cities and initiating the building of the Tower of Babel to defy Yahweh, who had destroyed the earth with a flood. Uh, okay, Nimrod became a god man to the people, and Semiramis, his mother and wife, became powerful queen of ancient Babylon. She gave herself the title Queen of Heaven. Nimrod's brother, Set, was jealous of Nimrod's power. Nimrod also called Osiris in Egypt, and he killed him by luring him into a golden box, which he fastened down and threw in the river. Now, blah, 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 blah. Okay, here it goes. Semiramis also proclaimed that Baal would be present in the earth in the form of a flame when she used in worship with lamps and candles. After Tammuz's death, She told the people that Tammuz was now ascended to his father Baal, and that the two of them would be with the worshippers in sacred candle and lamp flames as father and son in spirit. Semiramis claimed that she was miraculously conceived and that she came down from heaven in a giant moon egg that fell into the Euphrates River. She became known as Ishtar, and her egg was called Ishtar egg. This was supposed to have happened at the time of the first full moon after the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere. The date of Easter is calculated by this reckoning as does not coincide with the Jewish Passover. Okay, after Nimrod's death, Semiramis bore an illegitimate child whom she claimed was conceived by Baal through his rays. Her son, called Tammuz, was fond of rabbits, and they became sacred because people believed him to be the son of the sun god Baal slash Nimrod. Rabbits and eggs are symbols of fertility in this ancient false religion, but they were incorporated into the symbols of Christian festival of Easter. Tammuz was killed by a wild boar while he was out hunting. Semiramis said that some of his blood fell on the stump of the evergreen tree, which grew into a new tree overnight. The evergreen tree was made sacred by the blood of Tammuz. The fir tree is a central feature of our of their Christmas celebration. She also proclaimed a 40-day time of sorrow before the anniversary of Tammuz's death. During these 40 days, the worshippers were to eat no meat. They were to meditate on the sacred mysteries of Baal and Tammuz and make the sign of a T over their hearts as they worship. I guess they changed that over to this over their hearts as they worship. And it says, these 40 days are so called Lent, have nothing to do with Yahweh fast in the wilderness. They are a time of mourning for Tammuz. In Ezekiel's vision of the temple in Jerusalem, the Most High showed him what the women were doing. And let's read that, and then we'll probably get out of here. And it says, then he brought me to the entrance. This is Ezekiel chapter 8 and verse 14. It says, and he brought me to the entrance of the north gate of the house of the Lord, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, and I saw a woman sitting there mourning the god Tammuz. He said to me, do you see this, son of man? You will see things that are even more detestable than this. So, and then it says on the on the first Sunday after the first full moon, after the spring equinox every year, they were told they were to hold a celebration feast to eat ham because Tammuz was killed by a boar, and a sacred cakes with a T or cross on top of it on that Sunday, that they were to celebrate Ishtar's day with rabbits and eggs. So I mean, this is the bullshit that Christianity has put our people into. We're supposed to hold the Passover in the first month of the new year, which is the month of Aviv, and we're not supposed to be messing around with no Easter. And yes, whenever you look up the word Easter in the Holy Scriptures, uh, that word is Passover. Let's look at it. Ain't no damn bunnies laying no eggs, and we're not doing no fertility rituals and all of that. When I was growing up, they had a ritual that they had us do. It's called the May Day, which all ties into this Ishtar BS Mayday, where you wrap a string or I guess you weave a string around a phallus symbol, and they had, I know as a child they had us doing that bullshit. But yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, it's like let's go back to I think it happened. Mhm. This is it only happens once. It says Peshat, or the Hebrew compared. Let's go to the Hebrew. Passover, sacrifice of Passover, animal victim of Passover, festival of the Passover, Pesach, Pesach, Pesach. So the wherever the it says Easter, that one time in the scriptures, it's actually supposed to be Passover. But yeah, so messing around with Christianity, we're supposed to turn back to our power. You know, where is that? That's, Jeremiah 30. Oh, mm, I don't know. Mm, I don't know. It's like you. I can't find it right now. 6. This is Jeremiah 6 and 16. It says, "Thus saith Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old path, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls." But they said, "We will not walk therein." Nah, that's not it. But I mean, it applies though. So we're supposed to go back to, trying to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, and performing. These are feasts that we're supposed to have, annually, and we need to go back to that. We need to go back to that, trying to rehearse the righteous acts, because this worldly stuff, taking your kids out, pushing ashes on your forehead, and you know, messing around and eating your Easter ham, and laying eggs, bunny eggs for the children. We got to get rid of all of that bullshit. We got to get rid of all of that bullshit and come back to our power and the holy days that our power told us to keep. And that being said, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Bashem, Raha, Dash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Hopefully, this lesson was edifying to the elect. Shalom.